Despite the fact that oil is continuing to wash into coastal areas on a regular basis, the nation's attention has turned to other issues as the BP drilling disaster marks its 6th month.
On the coast, we see the evidences of oil still manifesting, still coming up in certain places. Plumes apparently that were suspended in the water column are finding their way to the surfaces. Animal kills still happening. Birds are still dying. Fish, different things are still dying out there. So the only difference we see right now, the amount of oil is reduced, but still coming up.
One of the similarities we've seen in every spill is that the industry and the government tends to habitually understate the size and understate the impacts. And as well, they habitually overstate the effectiveness of their response. We see that in every oil spill, everywhere.
The White House has released their plan for Gulf Coast recovery, created by Navy Secretary and former Mississippi Governor Ray Mabus, and have quickly implemented a key recommendation: the creation of a Gulf Ecosystem Restoration Task Force.
Well, I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that the process is about making sure that BP pays for the damage that it did to fish and to wildlife and to other public resources.
It will take into account the loss of seafood as an industry, as a business loss. But what about the hundreds or thousands of people in the bayou communities who actually live? They don't go to the grocery store, they go to their backyard and crab for dinner. They don't have a receipt for that, but their lives have been severely impacted.
The work ahead is massive, with BP's impacts only one of the environmental challenges facing the Gulf, adding to an existing dead zone, depleted fish populations, and the loss of wetlands, oyster reefs, seagrasses, and other coastal habitats.
Our communities have paid a disparate or disproportionate burden environmentally, culturally, economically for the production of these destructive industries.
There's a lot of damages that were pre-existing as far as what's happening in the ecosystem. So we need to address some of these old concerns and issues, and also, do what's needed to be done to this immediate, threat from this disaster.
Without a funding source, however, plans for restoration will remain a meaningless exercise. So the eyes of the affected communities have turned to BP.
Because over the years, we haven't had recognition to what's been going on down here on our Gulf as far as chemicals and companies coming to the coast and the chemicals that they are putting out there, whether it be from the oil company or whatever. They just come down here and have their way with it.
I think what you're going to find is that the political powers that be are going to see this as Christmas coming early. There's likely to be a substantial amount of money available, and they're going to want to use that for the projects that they like, not necessarily the projects that are good for the public. It's shocking to me, but it's the kind of thing that some political entities and some of the powers that be would think was just fine. I think that's what citizens are going to have to watch out for.
As the Gulf Restoration Network monitors and responds to this crisis, they continue to need your help. Visit bpdrillingdisaster.org to take action, stay informed, and donate to their efforts.